So what am I going to do is, let me share my screen. Here, if you see, uh, what we were doing yesterday, we were about just doing the scan and understanding the elements, how to identify, right? So I just recap again quickly on the same part. Right click, just scan an application. And, for now, I'll quickly scan the elements that we are looking for. So I just want to do a login, just a login check. So I'm fine with this and just say scan. So we have the login page opened, and then in the login page, if you would see this, let me just redo it. So if you see this,
So you're using Chrome, right?
Chrome, yeah. And the other thing, okay, I guess for the first time when you would be doing it, uh, uh, so you would also need the Tosca extension when you are doing interacting with the browser. For the first time when you would be doing, what I would suggest is, okay, I'll after this part, I'll ask one of you to share the screen and
Actually,
then,
same where I stuck, so I
right,
spent a
right,
lot of
got it.
time on it.
So just like when you said it's Chrome browser, it just reminded me of that part. So yeah, okay. I'll just go through quickly this thing, and then I'll just ask you to share your screen, and I'll show how to install the extension as well. Yeah. Uh, so here is what. So we have this page, the login page, and we just click, let's say, login, and then the next one would be to enter email, password, these things, right? So quickly, I'll just click on condense so that the screen just gets minimized and we would be able to scan the page. So in scanning part, I would need the email field, I would need the password field, and let's say if you need any specific thing, you can just add it, or let's say you forgot something to add, even that is fine. Later also we can do it, which is by rescan. I'll show you even that part. So for now, I've just taken email, password, remember me, and then this, and I'm good with this for now. So if you see, we have got the 4 controls that we would be interacting. First thing, starting with the module. So if you just click on the module, this is nothing but a module, again the page. And Tosca, when I say what framework does it use, and what about Tosca framework? If we have to give a brief of that, I would say in Tosca, the major component would be like we have modules, right? So whatever we do, the elements that we are going to interact with the repository, that as a part of module, it is going to be stored. So it is based basically on modules kind of thing. So just have to uh, focus when it is a framework part in Tosca, kind of just remember, okay, there's something called modules, and any elements that we are going to interact with that are going to be stored as a module, and then we are going to use that module. So it module based framework is what, yes, we can tell this way. And so only thing, yes, yeah, so this is what it recommends. So when we have a module, or when we have a specific page, so the page, against that specific page, uh, we would be just uh, entering or just let's say storing all of these elements. So of one particular page, let's say this is login now. So the login related elements, whatever are there, we would just store in only one module, in only one thing. Let's say now we have other. Okay, let's not go there. So after this, I'll explain that part. So for now, login, as we were doing this, we have stored this, and the element, if you see the properties, as yesterday I was showing you all. So what properties generally you would be selecting? You can select ID or name or default name, anything which is you feel it might be unique. Sometimes if you feel it is unique but it is not, when it gets failed, come back and then just change it, not to worry
Without
about
one
it.
to three numbers, you said, right, Pradeep? Should I?
Yeah. So when there are some numbers, it is possible, it's not always sure, but there's a possibility that that number can get changed for every page refresh. So developer might have written the elements property in a dynamic way. So when it is written in a dynamic way, so let's say it was email 123, and next time when you come, it would be email 456. Next time when you come, email 100, something like that. So some email would be there, and then when it is just some number, in that case, what we can do is we can write a regular expression saying a part of kind of partial text again, a part of word would remain constant static, but the rest one, like say if it is this way, so if something is this way and every time we refresh, this number is going to change. So in the properties as well, what you can do is we can say, instead of that dynamic part, we can just add star in the sense anything. It can be number, it can be text, it can be anything, and any number of letters or characters, whatever it is. So we are not bothered about what it would be there, but for sure we want an ID who has uh, starting letter, starting word, email. So like that also we can handle. So when the dynamic part comes, we can see it. So yeah, ID. I'm good with this ID, or else as I say, okay, sometimes I don't use ID, and then this is not unique, I'll take default name. Like that also you can do. And XPath also it gives, but I would suggest not to use XPaths in this. So instead of XPaths, just take this properties. If this properties doesn't help, then let's move on with what? With the anchor properties. So how to use this anchor property? If you have to, I would say, okay, let's say this is not getting identified, or more than one control is being found with the property that whatever we have selected. Now in this case, what happens? If no property is unique, you feel, then what you would be doing is you would be going on to this anchor. So when you say click anchor, uh, if you see here, so now this is the email text box field. This email text box field we want to identify. And now when I say anchor, what anchor is nothing but we would try to locate any other element on the page. First thing, we would try to locate any other element on the page which you think can be unique. Now in this case, when you want this text box, what you think can be unique? This label, right? Label, email, or this thing, or link, anything it can be, but try to take the closer one, and whichever is, yeah, very closer to the element that you are going to interact with, and you think it might be unique. So here in this case, I would see email colon a label would be unique, is close to this and also unique. So in this case, uh, I would need this, right? So what you have to do, once you click on anchor, the symbol over here would be define it as relative ID anchor. And so you would get this window, identify by anchor. First step, what you have to do is, so you would scan on this element, right? So I'll just adjust the screen. Once I adjust it, I'll click first step. to click on select on screen. So I will click this select on screen. Sometimes by default Tosca gives this thing, but I'm saying if in case doesn't gives and we are not fine with that, first step again, just click on select on screen. Once you click, and now if you just mouse over, yes, you can select any of the elements. And as I said, let's just take the closest element that we think. So if you just say I need this email, just click this email. And as soon as you clicked on this email, or let's say I'll take password, and as soon as I click on password, and I just have to go back and deselect this select on screen. This is already selected, right? So I would click again, and then it gets deselect. Well, as soon as it gets deselect, the properties of this element would be shown on this page. So see here, password. It is password, and then password related. So caption is password caption as well. Yes, you can take it. Default name you can take it, or what it is taking inner text. It is taking tag as label. So I'm fine with this. But yeah, if you think okay something you don't want, or you want to add any other properties, select other properties. And as soon as you see this, so if this green is showing, which means whatever property you are going to select, you are selecting is unique. And with this unique, if you see, our element email property is also being now identified as unique. So if you see in the properties for the email, what property did we select? Only tag and input. If you see tag input, email is the tag input, password is the tag input. I don't know, again, search. So there might be multiple things, but out of that multiple, just with this, it is identifying. How? With the help of anchor. In the anchor, we have selected some other element. So I'll just change it to the email one that I want and deselect this. So email related properties, I'm fine with this. And yeah, so email is fine now. We have selected it based on the anchor. And this is normal now. Password, I'm fine with this. Details. So remember we checkbox. And sometimes, yeah, if you just want to make sure, you can just click on highlight section to see where this is highlighting. See here. So that part. So that was by anchor, and image as well. So when you select identify by image, you see here, remember me. So we would have to, what I would say is, click on that option, and here if you see, drag the cursor around the area used for identification. So this is very rarely used options. Even in my day-to-day activity, I won't be using this, but yeah, in case just to show you, I'm just doing it. Use image of defined control area also for identification. The first thing, since we want to identify this, so how would we do? Let's say we will select the area first. So like this. So this we would be pointing. Now, would you like to consider image identity in search for your control? This might result in long duration without visible scan window. Just say yes. And as soon as you say yes, so you see this remember me. The image has been captured and some accuracy, some image resolution details is shown. And against this property, if you see, element, you see there is some image things, which means this is being identified. This is being identified by anchor. This is with image, and these are properties.
Pradeep,
So
for image as well, is there any success message, Pradeep, like you have shown for anchor, when it is displayed as green on the left? Is there any success message in the same way?
no, Nawaz. In this case, what matters is accuracy. So accuracy, what you give is, if you give 100%, so 100% for sure, the area, whatever the image you had captured, exactly when you are executing the script, when the page is opened by automation by some means, it has to have this every pixel by pixel. It generally matches. And then if you see this remember me, and then there are some spaces, so same way the element has to be there. Remember we with the spaces. So now let's say this password colon, if it is moved little bit closer to this part, and which means this image is going to be like within this area. If that password thing, if something comes up, if something, some other thing comes up, then this 100% accuracy wala thing, it is not going to work, because this image, the expected image is this way, but the actual image was with, remember me, somewhere near that area, some other image or some other property had came. So there is a different mismatch in the expected and the actual image. So as I said, pixel by pixel it matches. And uh, so just to avoid that major thing, what we will be doing is accuracy. We would be giving somewhere close to 70 to 80%. 70 to 80%. If we just find it closer, we will use it. So 70 to 80% of the image accuracy is what we are saying. And yeah, but if we are relying on image based, as I would say, uh, so somewhere if we just use this images based on the screen resolution. Now my screen displays, let's say if it is small, I have just scanned based on that. Now let's say if we are doing executions on some other machine, and the screen resolution of that is like bigger screen, then in that case image related properties gets affected, and it won't execute as in an expected way. That's where it is recommended use image based only when you have uh, deal with all the other properties, all the other things, and you were like, oh, the only option left is with image. So that is where it is suggested. So this is about image based. And if you see next, this is property of again on login, and tag is input. So on the login, identify by, so if you see index, there are like the properties, whatever you have selected, let's say tag input, there are, it shows how many, 4 are there. And out of that 4, the index of this particular element is 4. So this is the last input element. And then if you want to identify this by index, yes, click it, so that if you see here, it is being identified by index. This is by image, this is by anchor. So, and this is normal with the properties. Now, again, even index, when I say based on, we shouldn't be again relying on that. Reason is if something else gets added, some other input properties have been added, then your element might get affected. And then in that case, what you have to do is you again want to use index, then come back, rescan, and then change the index number. So if it is 4 now, later you see if it is 6, 8, 2, 1, whatever it is, add that, and then it would identify. So these are the things. And when you click on the module is being identified with the title property and something called demo webshop.login. I'm fine with this title for now. We can use this. And yeah, nothing else I would suggest. So if you see here, next thing, once we are done with everything about that scan, just click on save. As soon as you click on save, that module gets added over here. If you save here, you see under this we selected, and then that there goes, a module has been added completely. And now once we are done, we can say close, we can close this, anything, and yeah, click save. So this is getting added over here, module is there. And when you see image against that module is there, right? Tosca takes screenshot of that, and the element properties. And remember me, you see that highlighted screen, it is getting identified. Now, if you see the properties, so against this module, so there's this section, properties section. For the module, few default properties Tosca adds and few it suggests. And the main thing is, how did we identify this? We identified this with the title property, and the value was this demo webshop.login, right? Next, if you see this email, how it is identified? Email is identified by tag as an input. And if you see the other property, you would find something called relative ID, which is you have to know this is nothing but an anchor. So this element is being identified by anchor, and relative ID, if you see here is the relative ID. So how does this relative ID or anchoring thing work? So even internally, it works based on an index. First of all, so this one would work based on the index. And what is that index value? If you see, so if you see closely this thing, we can see, okay, label is there, parent offset is one, HTML engine key value pair. If you see, what I'm actually looking for is tag as label, and then inner text as email. So with this, we can see that this element is being identified with some property of inner text with email, and tag was label uh, that way. So it is just parent offset. So this things gets changed, but yeah, we don't have to go deep in that. So uh, for email, for anchor thing, it just works this relative ID way. And uh, this way, for this, here we can just see it is only uh, the tag input IDs. Remember me, we had taken that one as well. And image thing, if you see this image is being captured here, it is taken that way, but it is not showing on image based thing. And for the login, when you see what property, we have taken tag, and then there is something called constraint index. So constraint index property with value as 4. So here, uh, now going forward, let's say the index is being changed to 2. Then what you don't have to go right click, go rescan, and then change it from there. Instead of that, if you just want to change any of the properties of any of these elements, click this, select, and come here, and then change this value to, instead of 4, if it is 2, just change it to 2. That's it. You see, 2 has been added. So we can change this, and then our scripts, whenever this module it takes this property and it identifies. So we know it is 4, so we'll just change it back to 4. And if you see this green, which means yes, we were able to add anything in this. And this white color is nothing but a newly added one. It is not yet checked or
Check in
sent
all.
to the, yes, by checking all it would go, sir. So it common repository it goes. So now in the same way we did the module which was earlier, this we identified with title, and then register and login, two buttons with tag, inner text, class name, some extra properties we had taken to identify that elements. So now let's just jump back to our test case. So to the test case, what we'll do is first test case. So I want to edit this. So I had already checked out. So it is green, and I should be able to edit it. So first thing, uh, before I add the test case details. So Aruna, yes, you can share your screen, and I'll say how to uh, install the extension, Tosca extension.
But before that, Pradeep, can you show me in demo session you were explained about adding Chrome and other browsers instead of default?
Yes, yes, that also will do. But extension, yes, in any browser, yes, we need it. So
Okay.
I'll just yeah, share about that extension thing, and then so when we start our scripting and when I'm doing it, I'll show that steps.
Okay. Just a
Yeah.
minute.
So Nawaz, have you also tried scanning any of the web page?
No, Pradeep. Today I will try to do.
Okay.
Can you able to see my screen
Yes.
now?
Yes, Arun. Yeah. So
Actually, I have watched one of the video,
right,
so I just completed it. I need to do.
right. So you want to do it in Chrome?
Yeah, okay, that's okay.
Yeah. Can you just click on Chrome? So yeah, open a new tab. And now here, okay, you already have this thing. So so you just open Tosca X, the Tosca page, Tosca Commander.
Mm-hmm.
So other things, what it is open? What is the other window? What is that other?
It is just scanning.
Close this. No, and then close. Yeah. So now on the model section, just right click or demo web shop. Yeah, on the demo web shop itself, right click, say scan.
Wait.
Or
Okay.
scan application. Yeah, and now select Chrome related tab.
Okay.
So on the screen, you see Chrome, second one. Just double click it, right? And then for the first time, if the extension is not installed, Tosca Scan, it would suggest to you, identifies that extension is not there, and it would suggest. So in order to install, you can just say yes, click on it, and then in Tosca, if you see the Chrome, so it navigates to some extension. So let's navigate to that page. So you get an option, add to Chrome. Yeah. So just click on this add to Chrome, and then it just adds add extension, and yeah, that's it. So if you open the window, Xscan window, Tosca
You mean
Xscan,
the download?
not download, the scan part, scanning window, the window that we got just now when we was Xscan. When we say right click, oh, I guess it's our network went off. So Nawaz, were you able to follow this?
No, Pradeep. Can I share my screen if you're okay?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Pradeep. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes, yes. So create a new, first thing, create a new module folder, as I said. So on the modules, right click on the
Yeah.
modules, not on this, yeah, that module, right click and create a folder.
Scan is there, right?
Yeah, scan, you can directly scan. Uh, uh, yes, and then rename. Okay,
Extension.
what did you select it? A module, right?
Yeah, already I have selected a module. That's why I'm saying
No,
scan.
no, on that module, you see that top menu options. Create is there. When you right click, no, right click, and
Hmm?
then this window, yeah, this is module. No, just above that, just above create, yeah. So you see create folder. create a folder, and then yeah, rename this folder to demo web shop as we were doing.
Okay.
Right click on this. Uh, First unselect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
doing it.
right click and now go to scan application.
Tosca extension is the one, right?
Yeah, just click. No, no, no. Don't do anything here. Go back on
Yeah.
that window.
Pradeep, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Aruna. So yeah, you can select this Google window. Open Google Chrome.
Okay.
E- yeah, double click on that. Yeah, or
Yeah.
scan anything is fine. So Tosca would suggest if the extension is not there, it would suggest to download, install that extension. Say yes, and then it navigates to that extension page. So you just have to add to Chrome. Click on this. That's it. So add extension. So the Tosca extension. Yeah, what happens? I guess I'm not sure. I guess that might be like admin window due to some admin rights. It is getting out. So Aruna, can you hear me?